Oh, hello folks. Friday the 13th. It's 11 a.m. Here she is. The John Deere C400, 13-foot cut, drawbar swivel hitch option. I fell in love with that drawbar swivel hitch on the New Holland. Quite obviously a center pivot, goes without saying. Got one problem that you're going to witness here in just a minute or two. See that lip right there? That either needs to be adhered down, or I need to put some of that, let's call it those little strips of foam. I don't know what the hell to call it. With one side being sticky. Because when she gets up to that 1,000 RPM, that thing chatters. It's god awful. That sheet steel there. Here is fine because you got those bolts, but there's a long length in the middle. You'll hear it. I'm telling you now, so you don't think it's a gearbox, because it's not. She's a beaut, Clark. She's a beaut. It's a beast. I'm going to tell you though, I've been having a hard time. This is basically just me being me. I have a very hard time learning something new. I know how silly and stupid that sounds. I can only hope and assume that there's a couple other people out there that got the same problem. I mean, we're talking frustrating. There's nothing wrong. I have to learn the machine. I played hell last night. I got this at about 11 o'clock yesterday, 11:30. We had received some rain yesterday, unexpectedly, but conditions were nice and dry and doable by 5:30. So I went to my primary alfalfa field, about 24 acres. I barely even want to show it to you. We'll just take a walk and take a look. Anyway, I did an awful job. Playing with all the different settings, everything else, trying to make that perfect windrow. And yeah, I had a hard time. I played hell. I'll just tell you right now, there's been a few teeth that have already been, a few blades, teeth, whatever you want to call them. More than a few that have already been flipped. The header tilt is so extreme. You'll see a lot of my misses there. I could really dissect to you what I did last night, but it doesn't really matter. It's down and all's well. Probably going after cutting this on Sunday or Monday if the forecast holds up. Right now we got quite a bit of hay down. And a pretty rambunctious weekend too for a lot of hay down. There's a lot of stuff going on. But even when I got in here, I played hell. What I truly found out last night, goes without saying, is I had that header tilt way too low. Way too low. And with the deflector shields in the back, folks, long story short, I'm learning this new piece of equipment that's very frustrating to me. I'm just sharing you a piece out of my book. I've always had a problem with that. Not just equipment, but anything new in life. I have a hard time with it. And it gets frustrating to me. But we're getting there. We are getting there. We're getting there. I'd have to say that's pretty darn pretty. Pretty darn pretty. It's got a nice little ring to it. Pretty darn pretty. So here she is. I'll do a little more of a, let's call it an appropriate equipment showcase at a different time. Right now I'm running the clock right now. I barely have time for this, but if you can't stop for just a bit, then what the hell. So far, so good. I just have to keep dialing it in. I've done some reading about some of my misses and some other stuff, and I really need to take a look at the shoes, and I've got to get into it, and I really need to read that manual up and down, all the different placements, and everything else. I gave it a full maintenance check yesterday afternoon. It came to me very well pre-maintenanced, however you want to say it. I will say that. Very well. I ended up going through the break-in process, which is very minimal, very minimal. And I like to follow that to a T. It's there for a reason. Yeah, you're gonna have to never mind me. I'm extremely happy. Everything's fine. I'm proud as a peacock and everything else. I'm just, and this is me being me. This is very frustrating to me and nerve-wracking. You know, you don't want to do something wrong right off the get-go here. Plus, I'm learning the operation of it. This is a completely different story from what I'm used to. When it got delivered yesterday late morning, it actually scared the shit out of me. I'm not kidding you. You know, just the size, the length, and everything else. thing at a time here, Ben. Alright, I'm going to start this puppy up. I'm going to take you with me for a round. Remember what I said about that god-awful noise from that sheet metal vibrating, which needs to be fixed ASAP, secured, or that will just, that'll play hell. So, here we go. Probably even see it bouncing right now. This field's a little tricky here. Most of this field says it's time to be cut. Some of it does not. Doesn't matter. All this property with this alfalfa back here, these 3 fields, they're all getting cut. Of course, I'm on the 2nd or 3rd one. I'm going to cut the other one. And cleaned up, picked up, immediately respectfully flooded with potash, and we're going after all 3 fields for wrapped alfalfa. 3rd week in September. I think that's practical. A little bit of help from Mother Nature is going to be nice. So I'm going to bring it in just a little bit. Too much. All right, folks, I know this wasn't a very well put together, very nice video to compliment this new piece of machinery, and of course all the anticipation for some of you of this teaser that's lasted for many months. On a different video I'll get into all the stuff that made this take so long. I gotta get going. I have got an extremely long day in front of me, and We'll be talking sooner than later. Happy Friday.